Never underestimate the power of a small group of committed people to change the world. In fact, it is the only thing that ever has. That's Margaret Mead. As I look over this room, I'm encouraged. I'm a foreclosure defense paralegal, and in that capacity, I have seen a lot of pain, suffering, tragedy in the state and in this country. And maybe for one of the first times in 8 years, as I look over this room and I hear the quality of leadership in this party, I am filled with hope. And it's very encouraging. So, thank you. My name is Michelle Darnell, not to be confused with the movie that's coming out, Insider Trading and all that, but hey, I'll take all the name recognition I can get. I ran in 2014 as a Republican. I kind of wore a Republican jacket over my libertarianism. And the reason I switched over to the Libertarian Party shortly thereafter is because I got no strings. I can be in the Libertarian Party and say what I want and do what I want. And the leadership in this... Nobody sat me down in an office in the Libertarian Party. Steve didn't sit me down and say, don't talk about this and don't talk about that. I can be and say what I feel. That said, I will tell you, I don't always agree with the leadership, and I don't know if they always agree with me. I can go rogue sometimes. But that's okay. That's what makes up this wonderful party. As I'm looking over this audience here, I've been to Democrat events because I like to perform reconnaissance, and I've been to Republican events, and let me tell you, this is America right here, the cross-section. We have ages, we have genders represented here, we have cultures represented here. This is a kaleidoscope. This is America. The Libertarian Party is America. I am a libertarian who believes strongly in restraining government, low taxes, free enterprise, personal responsibility, maximum freedom, and compassion. And for your Democratic friends, what I would tell them is the Libertarian Party is the party of compassion, because free enterprise has brought more people out of poverty in this country and in this world than charity, church, or government combined. I believe in justice and liberty for all, and not just those who can pay for it. I am seeking to represent the people of my state as a representative in the 48th District, Bellevue, Redmond, Kirkland. Can I hear it for Bellevue, Redmond, Kirkland? Anyone here? Because of what I see and what I believe. And I want to carry my message, your message, to the people in Olympia, because let me tell you, I've been up there, I've been working, lobbying some stuff. They don't get it. They're out of touch. I want to stop the double taxation that Brian is referencing. Awesome speech, Brian. Fantastic. You are, a star is born. I want to revolutionize education. I live in the 48th. We've got Google, Microsoft, and yet we got kids sitting in a desk, an 1830 style education system that is not serving our kids. And I believe we can revolutionize education through not just funding. It does need to be adequately funded, which I think it already is, but I'm not going to go into that. Go check out my website. But through choice. Choice, that's what we need. I want to provide relief for small businesses struggling right now. And I want to repeal the Deed of Trust Act and end non-judicial foreclosure in Washington State. Thank you. I'm not going to belabor you. Check out my website, michelleforthehouse.com, and I go into detail on those. I'm running because of what I see and what I believe. I believe our country and our state is in crisis right now. I honestly do, from the bottom of my heart. And I believe we can do much better for our children. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I see homeowners being forcibly turned into renters, and renters spilling out onto our streets, as the American dream has turned into an American nightmare. I see no money, no justice prevails over facts and law, while decent attorneys like Mr. Trumbull over here are valiantly holding the thin black line between us and tyranny. I see that most of our elected officials, not all, but most, are far removed from the critical concerns that you and I face every day. And they're accepting favors, and they're handing out favors, and they fail to represent the people. They seek to rule over the people at all levels of government. I see small businesses struggling to navigate a labyrinth of regulation and taxation, unable to provide the sorts of jobs and opportunities that our state so desperately needs right now. Clap. I see workers who are making 1/3 of what they were making before the recession with no hope of advancement. These guys that are middle-aged working at Wendy's don't want $15 an hour. They want to make what they made back in 2005. I see elderly, families, and the weakest among us abused and brutalized by monopolistic forces, broken families, empty homes, and destroyed lives dot this state like bodies on a battlefield. I see an education system where 1 out of 4 of our kids is not graduating, and still more graduate loaded down with debt and no hope for secure employment, while powerful special interest groups suppress innovation and creativity for their own interests, exploiting not only our students, but our teachers too. I see, as far as transportation, 405, I'm not going to say too much about that. Brian did an amazing job, you know, and it's not good for people. It's not even good for the environment, which actually the DOT, I mean, they're trying to engineer us out of our cars, you know, because it's green, right? So, but anyway, I see political parties dividing this country, tossing out political red meat to distract us while they're stealing our money out of our back pockets. And the left is quarreling with the right. And at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. We want food on the table, a roof over our heads, and a future for our kids. I see a powerful trifecta of too big to fail corporations. I love corporations. LLCs are corporations. We need to make a distinction between the too big to fail guys who are basically corporate socialism, and, you know, the mom and pop. So we need to be, when you're talking to people, be clear about that. We have too big to fail corporations, big government, and big labor working together to create barriers to liberty, justice, and opportunity for individuals and small business owners. Small businesses employ 52% of our workforce. And folks, they're struggling. I work for a law firm. Most of our clients, I would say 60% of them, 70% of them, are small business owners going through foreclosure. Boeing got $8.7 billion in B&O tax relief, and then we're $2.4 billion short on education. I see our Constitution and our legacy evaporate as liberties are stripped from us. Do you see what I see? I believe together we can do much better than this through building relationships and coalitions and bridges. When the house is in flames, you don't argue about the flowers in the front yard. You find your place on the hose and put the fire out. I believe it's time to end all forms of waste, fraud, and abuse in our state. We must restore justice and liberty in our systems and institutions. We must reclaim the power and rights of the individual. I believe it's time to put government back in its place and get government out of our bedrooms, out of our business, out of our wallets, and out of our way. And it's time for us as individuals to stop blaming. It is up to us. Apathy and complacency are enemies of justice and freedom. And it is time for us to be the change we wish to see. So with that, thank you so much for coming, taking this time. I would encourage you, something that you can do, find your local libertarian candidate. Support them with time, support them with energy, support them with funding. Because let me tell you, this is a challenge. The media will ignore us. It's up to you guys. If we get libertarians elected in this state, it's not the candidate. It's everyone in this room and everybody who supported them to get them there. I'm getting the eye. I've gone too long. Check me out on, what am I? MichelleForTheHouse.com. My team is right here at the table. And thank you so much for all you are doing, and be the change you wish to see.